presidency that Donald Trump action initiated, where USAID funding has been stalled. There's a lot of conversation from industry growth, from professionals, from NGOs. Everybody's talking about the harm of this in African landscape, especially for HIV/AIDS patients who have been reliant on USAID funding for most of these donor-funded programs. I acknowledge and I believe it is a pain point and it is a worry. But the other key thing that is critical is how do we drive sustainability and self-reliance, because that was the principle behind this pronouncement that was made and the decision that was made by the US president. So when you look at it from that standpoint, then it means reliability and self-reliance come from a point of, do we have the manufacturing capacity? Can we look at the financing mechanisms? Can we engage and see what alternative pathways do exist? That is where I feel the non-market strategies are not working, in the sense that we have local manufacturers in the continent who have been able to supply some of these medicines. For example, in the Kenyan landscape, we talk about Universal Corporation, which is WHO pre-qualified for manufacture of some of the antiretroviral medicines. How much of their produce gets to be procured for use in the local continent, whether for HIV/AIDS management? What possibility do they have to expand their production line and actually then create an incentive where we might not need to expend so much money in importing these antiretrovirals, but rather we can buy them from local players? This is an opportunity for them to shape the conversation and say, these are the key products that we were able to manufacture for antiretroviral pool. These are the key non-market barriers, whether it's a procurement issue, whether it's a financing issue, whether it's a policy imperative, and also the regulatory bottlenecks. So then we shape the conversation. The patients are complaining because they are scared of not getting the medicines. If you can assure them that you can offer that medicine, the question then is, how do we make them able to get the medicine through your pathway? And this would create an imperative and an impetus for us to invest in the local manufacturing capacity. I'm not seeing that action happening, which is a worry for me. And using that conversation from the Federation of Kenya Pharmaceutical Manufacturers, Federation of African Pharmaceutical Manufacturers, we can use it to engage with the African Union and all the different agencies within the continent. At a national level, we can leverage on the trade associations to see what conversations are we moving and with who are we moving them. Then ultimately we'll be able to drive it to a next conquest where we are harnessing that value, but also looking at how do we shape a market beyond what is currently happening, rather than focusing on our value streams where we are selling products and we are producing them. Supply and sale, that is a market strategy. But the long-term imperative of a market is to create a market where it doesn't exist, to develop the regulatory pipeline and imperatives for that policy landscape, but then deliver value and harness that value consistently by engaging with your customers and shaping conversations